Hello, George.
What's up, dude? I'm so glad to see that you are wearing your face mask.
And you're wearing yours. What
I'm
is on
wearing my,
yours? What is that?
dude, these are the Coachella Bears.
The Coachella Bears.
Okay, I got a
Oh, that's
Coachella.
pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's these little
I love
bears.
it.
Yeah, it's like a subculture of the Coachella Music Festival. The Coachella. I can't take this anymore. Okay, hold on.
You're taking it off already?
Yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Was it because you tried to drink out of your cup with the thing
I'm
on?
super thirsty.
Mine is from Martha of Miami, and it says "Tápate la boca." So, and in English,
I
that means cover your mouth.
Yes, and so like I have not. I'm not big on the idea of novelty face masks. Like it's not like something that I'm gonna like dip my toe into, because I would rather just go like way more old school with just like the scarf over the mouth,
Yeah.
this whole handkerchief, this cowboy kind of dusty valley. It's also like doubles as like a head scarf, so we like inside you can like wear it down here.
Oh.
Yeah, but I actually just wear like the surgical mask, the disposable surgical mask, because it's like super easy at the office.
Okay.
David,
I get that.
David wanted to get one that was like little kitty cats,
Mm-hmm.
and he was telling me about that, and I was like, wait, no, please don't tell me that you bought me a kitty cat face mask. And he's like, no, I couldn't. They ran out, and I'm like, oh, me salvé.
What a relief. Me salvé. No, that's
I cannot walk around the streets of Miami with a kitty cat face mask.
yeah. Well, maybe you can put the face mask over your junk for one of your pictures.
Well, I mean, that's basically what I'm wearing. It's basically like two pieces of elastic with like a little covering up front, because there's no cover on the back.
No cover on the back. Oh,
I mean, it's
man.
just little straps. Listen,
Right.
this is the way I kind of like I see this. For every women have like all of this amazing, great like lingerie is something that they can like wear, and they feel. I don't know that I'm gonna speak out of turn, but I imagine that the people who like it because of the way they look in it and how they feel when they wear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, because why would you wear something you don't feel good in?
Right.
Like when I wear the jockstrap, I feel like I'm good. I feel very good.
You feel very good.
I feel very good.
I like it. Yeah, dude.
I don't know. I really
You're
like
working hard, man. You're looking ripped, man. You're looking thinner and defluffed and ripped, and dude, you're owning it. You're doing it.
It is like I switched it up again because I'm always switching it up.
You're always switching it up, man. The body just can't keep up with you.
Well, the thing is like routine is literally like my kryptonite.
Yeah.
The moment something becomes routine and I feel like I have to do something because I've like made the commitment to do it, I'm just like, ugh. And so instead of doing that, I just kept switching it up, and then I started doing soul at home.
Yeah.
I literally started doing soul at home this is week, I want to say we're starting week 3.
Okay.
And I'm like moving better, feeling better. Like I like the way I look. I also bought a sweat faja.
A sweat faja.
Yeah, it's this like it's one of those like foam elastic things, like a waist trainer.
Yeah, to burn more grasa.
To like sweat that area more, and yes.
You think it works?
I think it works.
In your opinion, it works.
You put on this it comes with this balm. So you put the balm all over your spare tire, and then you strap yourself into that thing, and then you go. And I'll say this for it. I don't know if it's because of like whatever physics or whatever like industrial engineering situation is happening down there, or if it's because the moment that you strap yourself into something, you become very aware of your midsection and your core. So you engage more, and then conversely, you get a great core workout while you're doing everything else.
Either way, it works.
Either way, it works.
Either way.
Yeah, and I like
Where'd you get it? Did you get it on Amazon?
Amazon.com.
Can you send me the link?
Yeah. It's great.
I'm gonna get one of those. I hope they make it in my size.
If they make it in my size, they make it in your size.
I don't know, man. My tires gotten more Michelin.
I'm just saying. Yeah, no, like it's like, listen, I don't think I'm ever gonna be the kind of guy that doesn't have some kind of like extra, like an extra coating of fat
Right.
around
No, but you
everything.
look great, dude.
But
You look
I
great.
love the way I look. I love it's for me. It's like, listen, um, we've been hanging out at the pool a lot because the weather has been really, really nice, and it's like the first time in a very long time that I'm walking around in as little clothes as I'm wearing, feeling very good about myself.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Good for you. I love it. That's good. I can't say the same. I took I took a bad turn last week.
Like food
Um,
wise.
yeah, it was a mix. I feel like everything fell apart last week.
Okay.
So so it's a domino effect, just like it
Sure.
always is. It was a domino effect. I felt down and a little dark and a little gloomy, and I didn't want to work out. And then I thought maybe I was getting sick, but I wasn't getting sick. It was just a mood thing. I was in a funk, and then that led to eating and not giving a fuck and not counting and fuck macros and fuck nutrition.
Yeah.
And what's the point? Because we're never going to the beach again. So what the fuck kind of mood, right? Like, what's the point if I'm never, like, why? Like, why? I mean, if I'm never going to see people again, then what does it matter what I look like, right?
Yeah.
Like that kind of
Where were you this
childish,
weekend?
huh?
Cut to where were you this weekend?
Oh, well, yeah, I was in Lake Placid at my in-laws' house because I had a borderline, like, not a meltdown, but I had a moment on Thursday. I saw 5 people back to back
Uh-huh.
without break, no break to eat, barely any, even to just get up and get a cup of water was like really tough, like 5 hours back to back to back. And my body and my mind just went, okay, off. That's it. You're done.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't. I canceled the rest of my appointments, and I just couldn't move forward. I couldn't make a call. I couldn't send a text. I couldn't. I was non-functioning. I was frozen. I was just sitting on my couch. Like, I can't do anything, and that's it. Like, it's like the smoke was coming out of my head, and like,
Holy
short
shit, Carlos.
short circuited completely, man. And I was just like, I'm making myself sound like I had like a nervous breakdown. I didn't. I was just very like over it all.
Yep.
And so this builds up because I've already been eating like shit. My nutrition was shit. Like, everything was just shit. And then so I Lauren came home, and I talked to her, and I said, listen, I pushed it too hard these 6 weeks. I really pushed it too hard. I love being able to help people. I tried to help as many people as I could. And I really filled up my schedule because I know people need help. They need to talk to somebody, and I want to be there for them. But I lost balance. In the process. And I had to slow it down. And so we went to Lake Placid to get away, my in-laws' house, and they have a beautiful house and beautiful lake there, and it's very peaceful, scary peaceful, like too quiet sometimes. But
Can you
I
tell
needed
me
it
where
this
Lake
time.
Placid is? Because I
Lake
know Lake
Placid,
Placid, and that's New York, but didn't know there was a
yeah,
Lake Placid, Florida.
yeah, it's more towards Central Florida. Are you familiar with Peace River?
Yes,
It's
ish.
in kind of that area, like Arcadia, Sebring,
Okay.
Lake Placid, like that's kind of like that whole area there.
Okay, okay.
So it was great. There was Lauren and I rode the wave runners. We had a great time. I posted a video on my Instagram stories, and it was hilarious.
You know what
And
I
that's
thought
it.
when I saw that?
Mm.
I was like, of course, like they open up the jet skis, and Lauren's like, we're going to downtown and we're getting on a jet ski. I need to get the salt water in my hair. And then I like the next story, I see that you're in Lake Placid. I was like, oh, they went up to her parents. So
Yeah.
that makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes
So
more sense.
yeah, it was great. It was great. Totally detached, totally disconnected. And now, and then in the meantime, like once I started like kind of getting back feeling more like myself, I went into my book and I started like blocking out
Dude, you had a
times.
whole
And
live session on your music page finally.
yeah,
You had like an hour-long set. You played like a bunch.
2 hours.
2 hours?
2 hours.
I mean, I skipped through a lot of it, but
Okay, that's fine.
no, I like would listen to the song and then I would like fast forward about a minute and a half, and then I would like hear the part I want. Like I know this. Oh, I like this song. The next one.
That's what I figured people do. Yeah, I did that Saturday when we came back. We came back from Lake Placid, and I was so overjoyed. That was not the highlight of my week. There's a lot of highlights, but people like around Thursday night, which I was shut down, so I didn't pay attention to any of the messages until Friday morning. But Friday morning, I started like people on my music page were like, "Hey, when are you doing another live session?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, are you not doing live sessions anymore because the quarantine's over, or people, Miami's opening back up? Like, are you going to continue doing them after? Are you going to, like I started getting like a lot of people in my DMs, and I was like, wow. So I just said, okay, I'll do one Saturday night. So it was cool, man.
Listen, it was great. I loved it. I was so happy. And then like, I mean, I love the MGMT cover that you do so much. So good.
Thank you.
I was waiting to see if you were going to play one of the songs that I had sent to you. But I figured that
I'm working on them though.
And I was like, I know I sent you a lot of curveballs. Yeah. But it's fine. I also love you did. What was the last? Did you do like a Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah. Today's the greatest. Yeah, today's
so good. You look, and you know what? Honestly, two things that I took away from that whole video, that whole live session that you did was three things. One is super happy to see you playing in front of people and like interacting and engaging with them, because you are definitely a performer and you light up, and that engagement, that like seeing people and their little like comments in their little corner, like do here, and you're like talking to them and playing. You can see that or receive that, and that's really special and awesome. So was happy for that. Was happy to see that for you. Two, you had mentioned before that you were like not in the mood to play, and so to see that you had like found the mood to play again was like, yes, that's my friend. Like,
do it anyway.
Getting good.
Yeah.
And through your hair looked amazing.
Oh, man.
Amazing.
I'm getting DMs about my hair left and right, dude.
Your hair in that live was lit. It was the best part of the live. You had the hair that you wanted to have this whole time. That like, I mean, obviously you weren't working today, so this is like a product of whatever you had to go to the office into.
Right, yeah, of
like,
course.
The wave and the sweep and it was like
glorious.
You did it, my friend. You have done it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was great. So
the
only thing that don't get what?
Don't get a ponytail.
No, never, dude. Oh God. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going for, and then like I gave up because I was like, I don't want a fucking ponytail.
No ponytail at all.
I said that.
Yeah, I'm going for that look of that one picture you sent me one time. I think I'll post it in our story. I'm going for that look, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, my nutrition was awful. I finished the weekend by eating pizza and a chocolate bar, and it was that kind of mood. And then today I'm back on it. Did the first workout that I've done in a week, over a week, and I suffered a lot. We did the same workout today. Yeah. So I got to the round. I finished the round of 16 burpees and then got into the round of 18. That's where I got to. You too?
No, I finished the round of 18 and I got into the 20s.
Of course you did, because you've been eating right and you're slimming down. That's the benefit. There is a direct correlation there, man. It's incredible.
So like, look, I don't eat like perfect, and I do track the food that I eat because I know that I have like two little things that I check. My first goal is always to like hit my macros. If I hit my macros, no matter what I eat, for the most part, I'm fine. if I hit a macros with like great quality food, I'll feel even better. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. 100%.
Yeah, yeah. I also like know that like cooking a bunch of shit every single night is a pain in the fucking ass, especially right now. So I've made things like really fucking simple for myself, and I've definitely like purchased a couple of like supplement and boosters. Like I got those like the super greens powder and the super reds powder. I've been drinking that shit. I was like, because I don't.
That's the best stuff from First Form.
Not from Amazon, like
from Amazon. Okay.
The dupe, the $50 dupe, because it's like literally the same thing.
Yeah.
And then because the First Form is like $60 each canister.
Yeah.
So this guy over here went and was like, oh, look at that $15 jug. I'll take that one. Oh, and I feel great. Like I just do. And like, and so if I know that, I also know that like the grams of protein, carbs, and fat that I have equal a total amount of calories for the day, right? So it's like, my macros are based off a 3,000 calorie diet. So sometimes what I'll see like my macros are fucked because I eat like too much fat or whatever. And instead of like spending the day, like the rest of the day, just trying to like fit everything in and going crazy, I let go of the macros. I keep tracking the food that I eat and I just watch the calorie count.
Good idea.
If I know that like my BMR is set at 3,700 calories, so anything less than that is a caloric deficit. So I try to keep it like 3,000 with like a 200 calorie like little quarantine buffer.
Yeah, and how do you calculate your BMR?
I mean, it was all those formulas that you use.
Okay.
Like the same formulas that you use in that book was kind of like how I got that number. And then like I checked with like my old nutritionist and she was like, I calculated and it was very close.
Which book?
We went through it together. Like you gave it to me. It was one of your like beach body books or something like that.
Oh, that one. Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. I thought you were talking about, I didn't think it would be that. Yeah. It's a great one. Yeah.
That same thing.
So that's cool.
I know it's true because I've done it like, I've honestly like done 3 other ones and it's all literally like within 150 calories of each other, which is nothing.
My current macros are set to 200 calories over what that book recommends. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
I don't think it's not about like the deficit. It's just about like when you do, the value of tracking is that you, even if you're like, you've gone off the rails and you're like, I'm going to eat the pizza. Like, I'm not telling you not to. I ate pizza this week. Like I ordered a medium pizza. I ate half of it on Friday night and half of it on Saturday. But I also ate like 8 ounces of grilled chicken to go with it because I needed the protein.
Right. That's great, man. Well, you look great, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, I mean, it's all about just adjusting the course, man. You know, that's what I'm doing. I'm adjusting the course, and a lot of people are having to adjust the course now. So I know I'm not alone.
Listen, the roller coaster that is this whole situation continues to go up and down. And now people are like we're in Florida, so they've decided that the powers that be have decided that it's time to abrir. Remember the Mervin's commercial? Open.
No, that Ross.
It was Ross?
It was Ross.
It was Mervin's.
I don't know. I think it was Ross. Open.
You be wrong.
All right. You're going to have to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how basically like all of Florida is right now. Open.
Yep. Everybody, man. And
so they decided that they're going to do it. And then Miami-Dade was not going to do it. And then now they are going to do it. And
it's a disaster. Yeah.
It is. It's really confusing. And then you have people who are like left out and they don't know what the fuck to do. Like, how do you go back to something that's not there anymore?
Wow. Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Like I looked out. I can't imagine what it would be like to have to like, dude, what would happen to you if all of a sudden we are where we are, we're 40 years old and we're like, or 41, and we have to like, that hurt. And then we have to like, we get laid off.
Right. And
like the life that we know, or like, it's just like really record scratch, reset. Like not only has these last 6 weeks been, or these last 9-10 weeks have been, now I don't have my life to go back to. Now, like I gotta pick up the pieces and I don't know, like direction step. Like what's up with that?
Can you reinvent yourself at the age of 40 or after? Is that possible?
Are you like asking that to me?
No, yeah, I'm not asking. I mean, just general question. Just out to the universe. Like, could you reinvent yourself? Because a lot of people are, figuring that out right now, and I feel bad for. There's some people that are in our age group that went through this after, in 2000, after 2001, after the housing crash, and now this. It's like, man, like
2001. You mean 9/11?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the economic struggle after that, and then the housing market crash was around 2008. So 2008 that carried on to like, the repercussions of that carried on to like 2012, 2013. Finally, people get back up on their feet, and now this occurs. And so people who, in our age group are probably, if they're experiencing this for the first time, then, I do feel bad, because a lot of people, their automatic thought is, I'm too old to reinvent myself. What do I do with myself now? And I don't know if that's true. I think that people can definitely reinvent themselves. I think people, regardless of whatever industry they were in, they developed certain skills and experience that are transferable, and that's what I've been. So I'm glad, and it's funny. This is episode 40, by the way. Woo!
Yeah.
Episode 40. Can you reinvent yourself after 40? Episode 40. Yeah. And
and it doesn't really matter, because until I talk, you won't see me on the video. So I can be in the background like doing all these things and only you can see it.
I love it though. It's so funny. But yeah, man, I think a lot of people have been coming to me with those questions, like what becomes of me now? What can I do? I identified so strongly with being a provider, and being there for my family, and earning enough to support all my stuff, and now what? So
I guess it's really, I will acknowledge that it's easy for us to have this conversation because we don't have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
So my whole and I have been very fortunate in my life that I have never been without a job.
Wow. Yeah.
I've always, since I graduated from college, and throughout a lot of college, when I went to Florida State, the time that I was at FSU, I didn't work. But by the time, at least maybe one semester I didn't work, and then I went out and got a job. So I needed more money.
Right.
So I went out and got a job. And I was lucky enough that my parents were able to afford my in-state tuition at FSU. Mm-hmm. And the costs back then weren't terrible. And so my father had saved up a college fund for me, and then I went to school. And where am I getting with this?
No, that you just that.
Oh yeah, I just
you're
that.
grateful.
I had a job then. I had a job when I graduated. I transitioned to another career very kind of seamlessly. I went from working at one corporation to working at a restaurant, and I always took for granted the idea that I could always go back to working in a restaurant to make money, because it's if you understand service, then the idea was that you would always have a job. And look at us now, the service industry was obliterated.
Yeah.
We have friends that didn't survive, and their businesses are closing and they have to relocate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's terrible, man.
So we have friends that work in cruise lines, and they're all a lot of them do not have jobs. And the ones that do are very, very lucky right now.
Yeah, and they took a pay cut, and yeah, it's
rough. It's rough in a way that I never would have seen it coming, So it's it's that black swan that they talk about. who even knew thought that a city like Miami that is like so heavily reliant on that kind of business to have like none of it, like all of it shut down, like was weird and like bad. And so like if I was like a person that had like spent, I don't know, we've been working now, let's say 20 years. And now I gotta find a new career or find something, like I don't even know where I would start. You know what I mean? Like I try to play this tape in my head and see how it would go, kind of like workshop it and in like real time. And most of it, like I have assembled a very good group of people that I work with. And so these people used to work outside. And they had a lot of connection. We all very connected to like different industries. And so my guess would be like, I need a job. Do you know anyone who's hiring? That's kind of like, you start with like your inner circle, right?
Yeah, your immediate network.
And you just be like, I need to get a job. I need to find work. What's available, and let me get. That's how I feel. Like I would have an urgency, because honestly, I haven't set myself up that I have like a slush fund of cash to sit on.
Right, exactly.
You know, like we have a really lovely life, but we need to stay employed.
Right, exactly.
To keep it going.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the scary part. But you know, I just believe that you start with, the first thing is transferable skills. That's the one thing that I would focus on. If it were me, I've somebody who's hit rock bottom financially.
Yeah.
Then, you know, you definitely learn a few things, but the most important thing is you go back to basics and you say, okay, well, look, I'm fully functional. I'm able, I'm willing. I don't have any, disabilities. And even if I did, I mean, that's, even you'd still be able to find something, but I myself don't have a disability at the current time. I'm healthy. I can walk, I can speak, I can move. And as long as I have that, I can earn. Right. And I had to reach that point, and I think that creates this, a good level of defense, where if it happens, I wouldn't freak out. Like if somebody said, hey, you can't be a therapist anymore, I would say, okay, that's fine. It sucks, but what are the skills that I actually apply in therapy? I use these skills and I apply modalities to help people feel better, but there's something within that I'm doing that can be transferred to any industry that involves negotiating, resolving conflict, speaking, public speaking, like these are empathy, active listening skills. I'm good with human behavior, knowledge of human behavior. So I could transfer that to many different industries. Even if I had to go into sales, I mean, how much psychology is in sales? I think a lot of it is psychology.
Right? I don't think I could do sales.
Yeah, sales is not the most fun thing. Definitely not.
I don't know. There's just a personality type that is very good at it. And if you don't possess those key qualities, or like there's that natural sense of being what a good salesman is. Like my sister has it. I don't have it.
Oh yeah? Is she in sales?
No. She's a full-time mom.
Okay.
But no, but like I don't have that. I'd always whenever we had to sell anything, and I would be like, I mean, it's like, do you want it or do you not want it?
Hey, this is pretty cool. What do you think? Yeah? No?
I guess like if I could probably sell something that I know and I believe in and works.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there's these people who are like very good salespeople that they're just like, my skill is I can sell you anything. I'm not that person.
Right. Would you ever consider becoming a fitness coach?
You're the
CrossFit
like
coach?
No.
No.
I
What
don't
were you gonna
think
say? I'm the
so.
what?
I've had like two other people ask me that in the last like, well, since the quarantine started.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. All right. Well, I mean, and no, but we're talking about a situation where you had to pivot, not like voluntarily. I'm saying like, you know, you don't want to go back to being, a
I,
server or go back to
I'll
the
say
restaurant
correct.
industry.
I'll say like here's the thing. Someone once David someone let me look at me someone. David tells me that I say no a lot, right? And like
That
my
you say no a
natural I
lot.
say no a lot, a lot. Like I
Okay.
naturally somewhere along the, my guess somewhere along the line in my life and my within my adult life, I became very good with telling people no and feeling good about it. Nope,
Okay.
I don't want to do that. Nope, I don't want to do that. Nope,
Good.
nope, nope,
You're
nope.
good at setting your own boundaries.
But you also like miss out on a lot of shit when you say no all the time.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, and like I have been wrong. I have like said no to something, begrudgingly gone, and then been like delighted to have gone in the end. Like,
Right.
why did I even, why couldn't I just like be a little bit more open-minded? Um, I would, I mean, I guess like it doesn't fit in this scenario because I mean, there's no fitness jobs.
Mm.
You know, so it wouldn't even dawn on. I was thinking about like what would I do in this in these current conditions. I couldn't
Oh, that's
pivot to being
true.
a fitness coach. There's literally like half of those people don't have jobs anymore,
Yeah,
and there's
that's
some
right.
very talented, like very like motivated, passionate fitness coaches out there, and I don't like I can't swim in their end of that pool. Does that make sense?
Right. That makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, and I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to. Like I can like wade in the shallow end, like attend it, like go to like a little class or like or be like I can lead a group fitness event. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I have enough skill in being able to do these things that like if I do decide to put on like a fitness event for say like Outwad
Right.
or for like a MOACA fitness event, I'm comfortable in my knowledge and the education that we've received both in my experience of doing this activity for like over 10 years plus having taken the fucking L1 course plus all the conversations that we've had with like Danny and Lewis and Danielle and all the coaches that I've had over the last 10 years to be able to run a 1 hour fitness event. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
That makes perfect sense.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. And so like the
Okay.
pivot for me would probably be into like I don't even know. Maybe it would be like content creation. Like I would look to see if anyone's like looking for people to write
Yeah.
things, contribute things. Um
Yeah.
I like help get people like get organized. Like I see myself instead of being like a
Go
fitness
all in
coach.
on MOACA. MOACA Media, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. Call call that guy.
Yeah. We're
Get him on
yeah.
the horn real quick. You're like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
I need you to put
Yeah.
this on
Yeah.
payroll.
Yeah. Please.
Please,
Por favor.
let us be one of your investment chapters in your book. Put us into put our little compañía up in there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like if that, what do you have to lose?
Right. Yeah, what do you have to lose? I mean, I
We talked
agree.
about the fact that sorry, go ahead.
No, please. Go.
Oh, that we talked about how, I mean, this is going to be candid. So
Okay.
I'm going to mark, this pot is marked if you decide to erase it. And if you do, then everyone's going to be like, what did he erase? But here it is. Ready? This is the mark. We talked about how this whole venture that we're on together
Uh-huh.
is literally like our side thing because we
Yeah.
both have main things.
Yeah.
So if we didn't have main things and we both were like, this is going to be our main thing, that would be probably really fucking scary, really fucking hard, and really fucking frustrating. Let me get all the bad ones out of the way. Like
Yeah.
anxiety driven, sleepless nights. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So much fun, so much fun, so much fun, so much fun, so much.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's how it is, you know. And I think
Well,
anything that's, if you really, if a person has a passion project out there or something that they've always wanted to do, but felt like we're too scared of, or like the time wasn't right, and you happen to find yourself in a position like the one that some of these people are in, and you do have some means, like it's not going to be easy. Like a lot of people don't have any means, you
right.
know, and they have to figure something out. But like while you're figuring things out, you can, I think you can make decisions to put yourself in a position to be more aligned with the kind of life that you want to have.
Right.
And that maybe that's naive, but I do believe that.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, and yeah, and I loved what you said though, because you know, like we haven't even reached a year yet in this venture. So, you know, episode 40. What?
You know, I wonder. There's people out there that I swear to God I feel like they work like all the time, and I'm not talking about like people that have like a busy job, like a doctor or like an EMT or whatever. I'm talking like people who are like, I don't know. Let's use the word a mogul, right?
Mhm.
And they've got like, they sit on a board and they run a company, and then they have a subsidiary and they're a partner in this other company, and they have like a lot of things spinning professionally. I don't, I mean, I can't relate.
No, I mean, my life was like that a year ago, but not to that degree, not that elevated. I just had too many my hands in way too many things, less than a year ago. But you know, obviously I learned that lesson. But
Yeah, I
what
mean, I
you're
guess no,
saying,
it's true. Yeah, you know what? It does. Yes, I think that is, you're somebody like, I am a person that has had, I have one job, and I've had that job since 2011, and I will likely keep that job until uh, I don't know, someone basically fires me.
right? Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know, um, sometimes I feel that I feel like I'm, that kind of like security can be a crutch.
Can hinder creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I mean, definitely in the sense that it's natural to feel that way, not that it is that way, because it really depends on how you look at it. Because sometimes security, if you focus on the creative outlet, lets you be creative because you have something safe, you know. So it really depends on the person, you know. It really, yeah, it highly depends on the person. Some people would take it that way, you know, where they'd say, well, you know, I'm so over here, you know, that I'm afraid I'm playing it too safe, and it's preventing me from creating something, you know. But at the same time, there's people that if they didn't have that safety feature, if you will, that the stress and anxiety would just fog their minds and their creative juices just wouldn't flow. So
Yeah.
that's on a case by case, you know, basis. You know, me, I'm the latter. I need to make sure my shit is taken care of before I can go into writing a song or writing music. Now, some people would argue that, you know, if it wouldn't be until you're in a high pressure situation that you would create something
Yeah.
and you know, knock out like 10 songs, and something could happen, you know, out of that, which in today's music world the chances are more slim than ever. But you know, still, like, you know, there are people who would argue that. So it depends on the person. I think that this what we have going on is just a great creative outlet and for content, and I think we're learning. I think we're learning as we go, so that's cool. And we're doing it. And we're doing it well. We got a lot of people listening. We got people downloading. We got people, you know, commenting. I mean, we have a lot of streams. The stream count is getting there. The YouTube videos are on the
Listen, I
rise.
think
So
it's really awesome that we both have like, we've talked another candid moment in the whole like, how do we make the sausage situation, a little behind the scenes for the listeners. We've had conversations about how to market this thing that we're doing, right? And we've gone back and forth and we've like kind of dabbled here and there. But I think like the best thing we both do is like our own thing, and then just remind people that, hey, we do this together. Like
Right.
you post on your music page, like every time like you tag MOACA on a music thing that you're like doing or whatever, it's like, I'm this person and I also do this.
Right.
And like when I'm out there like in my jockstrap on the pool, like showing off all of my tag MOACA community, like, hey, I'm also this person.
I'm also not only am I a member, but I'm also the president of.
For sure. Just yeah.
Oh my god, man, that's
I mean,
funny.
listen, I'm not a rock star. I can't. So I want to give you.
Gosh.
I'm just gonna give you beefcake. Peanut.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tag it and do it.
I always wanted to be a model, so why not make myself one?
I think you're doing great, man. Yeah, I think but that's what I'm talking about. Even in everything we've talked about right now up to this point, it shows that if you actually put the time in, you can start getting creative and you can pivot. And I think that coming from somebody who has limited himself because of age in the past, knowing what I know now, and just like the fact that, you know what, at any age you can reinvent yourself, and I'm just a firm believer in that. I'm just I don't think that there's like an age limit.
No, and I think reinvention is 100% possible, but with two caveats. One, you have to know exactly who you are. If you haven't done the work to know who you are, the way that like you've done, the way that I've done, the way some of our friends have done, then reinvention is not possible because you haven't even, like, you don't know who you are. There's nothing, and then you haven't even invented your life yet. Like, you haven't set yourself up for success. So I'd start there. Like, if you don't, like, if you're feeling like you're out of whack, you have no fucking clue what's going on, start to do the work. Get a therapist, start, call you. Talk to somebody, start to unpack all the blocks and the fucking shit that you've got going on so that you can at least lay the foundation to be able to build on it. Because if that shit's not settled, like, or set, you can't like worry about everything else because it doesn't matter. It won't matter. You won't be able to find you won't be able to find your frequency. You won't be able to hear it because you don't even know you're full of noise. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep. Full of noise. I like it. Yes.
You gotta like unpack all that stuff. You gotta like really calm everything down and quiet it for them to like understand and hear. Like, I need to sing. I need to be naked on Instagram. I need to, I need like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I never thought that was like something I wanted to do. Yes, I did. And
yeah. I've always wanted to do that kind of.
It's not my fault. I read fashion magazines basically my entire teenage years. It was just like naked people. Yeah. So that, and I think with the part of the reinvention is it's like get an understanding of where you want to go, and if you don't really know, that's also fine, but don't like force it either.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and you can reverse engineer it too. Like, if you have an idea of where you want to be.
I mean, you can always try things on. Like, if you don't really know, just try something on. Like, I'm gonna try maybe gardening. I want to get into gardening. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I'm gonna try journaling. Nope, that's not it. I want to do watercolors. No, whatever. Something's gonna stick.
Yeah, it's true.
Something will stick, and
Yeah, and it's but
and the rest is, and then consistency is the third part, because honestly, like, we all know that the key to anything that we do and to be well at it is to be consistent at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. You gotta be consistent. And again, we're living in a time where your skills that you developed in your past experiences and your past work experiences, that's what's valuable. We can't get stuck in, I've had this job, this was my title, this was my job description, and I need to go and look for something exactly like that. It's there's so many things that a person does and grows and learns throughout their work experience that can be applied anywhere else. And even if it's a completely different industry, And I think that's where people get stuck is, and the age thing doesn't help. The age thing becomes a factor. Like, oh, what am I going to learn? I mean, how can I learn something new? Well, we know with the previous podcast with the Grateful Artist, right? That where we talked about neuroplasticity, and yes, you can, if you work the brain like a muscle, you can learn new skills, you can learn new things, you can develop a lot. It's just as if you were 20 or 25. All right. So yes, you can do that, right? But you add the age thing, and that could be a huge limiter, right? That could be like, oh well, who's going to want to hire me? Well, you know what? A lot of people could want to hire you. You have a lot to offer. You learned a lot throughout those years. In your 20 years, 21 years of work experience, you've learned a lot, and that's valuable. So that's
Look, it's like
the one thing.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead with the one thing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I'm just basically repeating myself. I mean, I that's the one thing I've been working on with my patients. I've been telling them that like a lot. Like, okay, come up with a 30-second elevator pitch, right? Like, why should someone hire you? And the first thing people say is, well, my experience at this other place. No, I don't want to hear about your experience at the other place. I just want to know, what is it about you that you can bring to the table to this company? Even if you don't know what we do, let's just say you have no idea what we do. What are the things about you that would make a company like you hire you? And people have to
Carlos,
dig into themselves.
It goes back to what I said about reinvention. If you don't know who you are, how can you know what you're good at?
That's why I loved what you said, because that's so true. That's exactly what it is. That's basically what I'm saying.
I will say that. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it, I hate when that happens.
That's all right.
Whatever, it's okay.
Yeah, but people can certainly do it if you're out there and you're scared. If this is the first time that you've gone through this in your professional life, you're not alone. And I know that doesn't help. That doesn't do anything. It doesn't put money in your pocket by hearing somebody say, "Oh, you're not alone." But it's also good to know you're not alone, because there's a lot of people who bounce back in ways that they never thought of or dreamed of. And yes, what George is saying is super important. You got to know yourself. You got to know what you want. You got to know what your desires are. You got to put in the time and effort to map out the next 20 or 30 years of your life, and not map it out to the T, but at least have an idea of how you want it to look.
Well, yes. And now, thank you. Because regardless of what you think, regardless of how long you think something's going to take, guess what? That time is still going to pass.
Right.
Like,
that's right.
The time is still going to pass, whether you want to like deal with it and get on with it and move with it or not. Like, you choosing to be like, oh no, that's not the right move, I need to like wait for the next one. Well, guess what? Like, you're only letting time go by. Like, instead of like having the job that you could have had, like, over, like, people who are like, oh, I don't want to like take a course because it's going to take a couple of years. Someone posted this on social media, and I thought it was so smart. It's like, if you don't want to take that course because it's going to take you 4 years, and you feel like you don't have 4 years, guess what? At the end of 4 years, you're still going to be 4 years older.
Yep.
But without that course that you wanted to take. So what's the impediment here from you not doing that thing you want to do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very good point. Woof. Fuego.
I mean, time is like literally against us.
Yeah, literally.
Like, the moment you hit like 35, it's like, bam, you're out, like, done, cut.
Yeah, I know, man.
You have 5 years to adjust, because if you don't adjust between 35 and 40, the next chapter is going to be very fucking difficult.
Yeah.
And I say that because I literally see it.
What's been the most difficult thing for you?
What?
Since turning 40?
No. 40 has been... Me coping with 40 has been a lot easier than like, because between 35 and... Yeah, because I had 35 to 39. Like, I had to abandon a lot of bad behaviors. Like 35 to 37, 37 to 40 was really like lots of like digging up, kind of like doing the work. Like, why is it like, you know, the sobriety thing, like like all the apologies I had to do, like I figuring out what was going on in between my head, going to therapy, doing all that, like unpacking all that shit for you to like be able to understand, oh, I act this way because I'm like this. I do this causes that. You know, like so you get to know who you really are.
You
So
become
that
insightful.
then so that you can choose to like either continue to be the asshole that you are or not.
Right, exactly. You can choose. I choose to continue being the
Yeah,
asshole.
because once you know that like something's, you know, once you know that you like, listen, things that I like needed to like come to terms with, like I am a sensitive person. I do not like it when I hear people talking, when people talk shit to me, or tease me. I don't like that. It triggers,
Right.
it's a trigger of mine, and like I will snap. And that snapping is usually very, very fierce and very mean.
I've never seen that in you.
Good.
Oh yeah, no, I know, I get it.
I mean,
I get that. That's a good thing.
Probably haven't done anything to merit it.
Right. But I'm saying, like, you know, sometimes you witness somebody, you know, react to another person. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've never seen that, but I could see it though.
It honestly, like, it really happens. Like at this point now, like it doesn't happen very often, and it really catches me off guard, and that only happens with David.
Right.
You know, and so unfortunately, like it just like, I mean, it happened again this weekend. I sounded off, and I was like, oh.
Damn.
When I was like, oh, back to the apology episode. Here we go. You know, and it's like, I don't have, when I'm completely like unconscious and it just like, some of them just get away, and I'm like, oh, come back. Oh.
No, why did you
fuck
say
yeah.
that?
So but I mean, it used to happen a lot more.
Yeah, the adjustment was, I you know what it is? I think for me, the biggest adjustment was the lens, and I'm talking strictly aesthetics, the lens that I looked at myself through. You know what I mean? When you see pictures of yourself and you're like, I look 40. I don't look like a young man. I don't look old, right? But you know, when you look, that was the biggest thing. I'm over it now, but that was like with certain pictures that I would see of myself where I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, I look my age. I can't complain. I mean, that's, you know, at least I don't think I look older than my age, but you look your age, you know, and it's not 25, you know, and it's not 30. And that was,
there's like some mental, like when I think about like the changes that I need to make, or like what was the hardest moments to me, the hardest things have been like things that are emotional and things that are like have to do with my emotional state, right?
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of like, just like, it's kind of like comical the way that we just continue to like rot, you know?
Yeah.
Like the fact that like I used to have this really nice shiny black, like dark brown hair, and like it just started to getting brittle and gray. And yeah, I get that, you know, silver fox and great temples and whatever, and I receive all of the very nice compliments that I get about it, but it all basically boils down to the fact that I do have like aged hair. I am not a person who looks 19 anymore, 20 anymore. You know, the skin around my eyes, like when did this start to happen? Like in here?
Yeah, dude.
Like the folds of your eye that start to like droop down. And then like I felt like all of a sudden like my face was like, I was like, I feel like my mouth used to be higher. Why do I always look like I always feel like I'm just like sad kid. And then like, you know, for as long as I've been doing CrossFit, I'm like, I know how air squats should feel, and I'm like, why do these hurt so much the next day? And all that stuff, just like the rotting, the physical part of it to me is, I mean, it's a gag because it's only going to get worse, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to stop doing this. Listen, I'm telling you, week 3 of doing solo at home, and I'm just like, CrossFit is a fucking miracle. I don't know.
Yeah. CrossFit is amazing.
CrossFit's
I
amazing.
fucking love
And
it.
like, yeah, I'm not even like super excited to go back to the gym yet because I don't trust people. I still don't trust people.
Well, for me, I'm not about, I'm never about like being the first one, to as soon as doors open to be there. Like I always like to wait, like when a new movie comes out and people buy the tickets months earlier and they get to the movie theater 2 hours before and they make the line and they wait. And like, that's not my thing. Like I'm always
Yeah.
like, no, I'm going to wait. Let me just wait till everything dies down. So for me, it's more of that. Like, I don't want to be like, fighting for a spot and like, nah, like, everyone's so excited to be here. Like, you know what? Like, let's let everybody get it out of their system, and I'll kind of
You know
ease my
what I
way
want to go? You
in.
know when I want to go back?
Hmm.
I want to go back when we can pack that place full of everybody.
Okay.
Anything less than that, honestly, it's like I don't know that I don't know that I want to go. I I will be part of the community. I will still like be here. We'll do this. Like I'm well adjusted now, right? But
Right.
I'm not gonna get FOMO from like a 6-person CrossFit class at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And
Right.
like if I guess it's like if the options are not suitable for like or conducive to my schedule right now, like I'm not gonna try to force it. I'm not
I
going to
see what you
force
mean.
that. But like I used to always love to go on Saturdays because Saturdays was like everybody was there.
Everyone was
You
there.
saw everybody. It was so much fun. And so until like that vibe can be fully established and I can just like roll up and like throw pastelitos and like
And cafecitos.
shirt off and like just like
Yeah.
hugs and I don't know, whatever. Like let's be optimistic.
Yeah.
I think that we'll be able to get past all that. Then um count me loving you guys from afar.
All right. All right. It's been said.
Or like
Let it
I'll
be
go at like
said. Let
or
it be
like
written.
it like or else you know where I would do like if there's like a if if they do like a 7 o'clock open session and like 4 people can go, I'll be like, I'll just sign up for one little spot in the corner. Just so I can do like a snatch session because I feel like I really want to get in that barber room and snatch a barbell. And
Nice.
I can see myself doing that too.
Nice. Well, that's good, man. Well, George, I like what we went over today. I think it's important. I think that there's people struggling out there, and there's people wondering what's going to become of them. And I'm glad we touched on this topic for real. You know, it's
Listen, the change is inevitable. This is not over. We're going to continue to face new challenges. The ripple effect of what this last 10 weeks have been are, I mean, I don't even think they've actually started yet, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like the people are still throwing rocks in the water. Like, it's
yeah,
still a lot of different stuff. So before the rocks have to stop for the ripples to like actually calm down. And I don't foresee that ending anytime soon,
right.
especially with an election cycle coming up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot ahead of us, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities to adjust and adapt, and we just need to go with it. But
I would say my advice: keep moving. Do not stop. Do not stop. It is so much harder to start once after stopping than if you just kind of keep the ball moving. Keep the body
yeah,
moving. Keep doing things. Don't get stuck.
right. Yeah, don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. I love that. Motion creates emotion. Proactivity leads to positive emotions. Like all these things. It's people get annoyed at me when I say things like that, and they're like, "Oh, there goes Mr. Wannabe Tony Robbins again." But you know what? People can make fun of me all they want, but
Ew,
that's
who called you a wannabe Tony Robbins?
oh man, like buddies of mine always crack on me with that kind of stuff.
I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that. Okay.
Oh no, not somebody. No, if it was a stranger, then I can get pretty fierce too. I'm really good with words and making people feel like
Yeah, you
shit.
can.
Yeah, Yeah. So no, if it was somebody I didn't know, it would be different. But yeah, like I have friends of mine, like they read my posts and they're like, "Do you truly believe this?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Why would I waste my time
Yeah, we've
and
talked about
energy?"
that.
So yeah. So yeah. So so people are like, "Oh, Mr. Tony Robbins over here." But you know what, man? It is so true. Like I keep moving. That's the best advice. Keep
Listen, I
moving.
don't. You
Keep
are.
taking action.
I am much more cynical than you are, and
Hmm.
even I understand and acknowledge and agree that it always feels better to be positive. It always feels better to like move through a moment of like sadness, depression, anxiety with intention. Like
Yeah.
understand that you feel like shit, but understand also that if you move through it, the likelihood is that it'll last, it'll hurt less, it'll last for less amount of time, and you'll be able to bounce back quicker. And like I 100%, I have done that. It works for me, and I 100% believe in that.
Nice. Woo! Love that. And on that note, episode 40. Love it.
I think I'm gonna pivot and be a life coach.
You could totally do it. And I'm not blowing smoke. I'm telling you right here, as if we were not recording, I'm gonna tell you straight up, you got what it takes.
I feel
You
like
know,
I feel like isn't there like a license? Isn't it a professional license you have to maintain? Isn't like LMHC or licensed life coach
well,
LC? No,
I don't know. I mean,
does that
there's,
exist?
there, yeah,
I mean,
there's,
because I've been
there's,
telling people about their life a lot on this podcast.
yeah. I don't know how valid any of those certifications are. I know people who have zero certifications go with life coaching and make a killing, and certifications, they don't need it because they just have a natural ability like you do, right?
Yeah,
And
no, I get
and
that.
and so they don't need it, but the only recommendation I ever give to life coaches is to really, really know the line between clinical and life coaching. So you got to know what to do if somebody says, "I've been thinking about killing myself," or you got to know what to do if somebody is like, "Wait a minute, this person's really off. Like one week they're fine, another week they're like
Sure, you
totally,
have to be. Yes, I
and
agree to that.
you can't be greedy. You gotta know your limitations and say, okay, you need to see,
We could
a
do MOACA
psychologist."
We can do MOACA life coaching. That should be
Yeah, we could.
our side gig.
Our side gig. Yes, for sure, dude. I mean, yeah, we'd be
Yeah, so
extremely
guys,
good at it.
if you like what you hear and you feel like your life is a hot mess, but you can't figure it out, but you really love our vibe, dude, we will help you.
Yeah, we
We will
will.
help you. We will help
Absolutely.
you. We have a company, and our company can provide you professional services. I'm serious. I'm talking about it. We can teach you how to work out. We can teach you how to eat. We can teach you how to look. We can groom you. We
Yeah.
can fix your brain. We can talk to
Yeah.
you one-on-one sessions. Like two of us, you, Carlos, and I will get together with you on a Zoom call, and we'll tell you about your life.
There you go.
It's,
There you go.
it's live on them.
Yeah. See?
I'm telling you.
Creative juices. Creative juices.
Email us,
Yeah. Give us a
moacamedia@gmail.com.
shot. Give us a shot. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Creative
I'm
juices.
telling you, this is
I love it.
the factory just doesn't stop
Yeah.
going.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So awesome. Well, George, where can they find this podcast?
You know what? You can find this podcast literally anywhere you consume your podcast because we are on all of them, all platforms. Spotify,
Yes.
Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, we're there. And we would really appreciate if you do enjoy listening to this podcast. So please, 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 please leave us a 5-star rating. Please go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe to our page. We always upload all of the podcasts, the video version, which are super fun because Carlos and I do everything with finger guns. Get a lot of this.
Yeah.
Get a lot of this and a lot of this.
Yes.
On YouTube, like and subscribe our page. Leave us comments. Let us know. So show us the love. I mean, I love it. I love when people engage with our stuff and not someone who's like, "Hey, I love your content. DM me for more 411. Let's collab."
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so that's us. You can find me on Instagram. I am at George I. Sanchez. And you can find this podcast on Instagram at MOACA Media.
Yeah. And now you can find me at carlos.escanilla or my music page at carlos305 music. So definitely find us there.
And
So
we're serious
thanks,
about the
guys.
life coaching thing, guys. Email us.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I'm down. Email us.
Word.
All right,
Bye.
guys. Bye.